Hello, everyone, and welcome to the seventh penultimate episode of Strixhaven CHAOS. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a blasty blast to play these scholarly student characters during this little mini series that we've been doing. It's been so much fun, and we are about to come again. Penultimate means the one before the end. And so we are
second to last, and it's Tuesday.
That's it. It is Tuesday, 2/22/22.
I'm killing everybody.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
TWOSDAY, Tuesday.
It is over with for us. So we might not make it to episode 8, but thank you so much for joining us to see what happens here in episode 7. And I want to be sure to call out our returning sponsor, who is incredible. We know some characters in this game, idle champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find an Electrum chest code on the overlay for the stream, also in chat. I'm sure it is flying around there. So thanks again for joining us. If you're coming for the code, that's wonderful. It's an incredible game. Go get your goods, but also stay around and see what's going on with the show tonight. We have a lot of fun here with this incredible cast. So we've been talking about this for a few weeks, that after this 8th and final episode of Strixhaven CHAOS, we've been, kind of teasing that something is indeed going to come after that into this Tuesday evening time slot that we're in right now. And so we announced that a little bit earlier today, but we are going to go ahead. We're going to play the trailer again right here, and then I'll talk a little bit more about our next show that is coming after Strixhaven CHAOS. And I wish all of you could have heard Lauren providing commentary the entire time there. I really wish that was one of those technical snafu moments where you could have heard her over the trailer, but unfortunately, that was a cast-only privilege that we just had right then. But we are terribly excited about Children of Erte, so that is how you say the title. Erte. It's apparently a word that we're going to find out more about as we get into the show, and we are really, really excited to play with the incredible Deborah Ann Wall and some returning cast members, as you saw there in the trailer. It's going to be a really, really great time, and as we are wrapping up the 8th episode of Strixhaven CHAOS next week, the week after that, we are going to have an episode 0. So this is a place where we're going to get together with Deborah and talk through what, you've heard of session zeros probably, where the players get together and talk about expectations for the campaign, make sure everyone's on the same page. Deborah's going to actually have an episode 0 with the audience. So talking a little bit more, an inside sneak peek at what's going on with Children of Erte, and also some of the fun things that we have in store for, some audience engagement that we can't wait to talk about. And then also to talk through what is, the world itself and what's going on, and setting up some of the mystery that's going to happen there. And I'm sure at that point too, we are going to introduce a little more detail about each character that is going to be, forming our adventuring party. So episode 0 is going to be March the 8th, same time as this stream. And of course, same channel. And then we will debut the first episode of playing together with that incredible cast on March the 15th. So mark your calendars. That is what is coming next. We are thrilled to see what's going to happen there. Now we're going to jump into intros of everyone here playing tonight and get into episode 7 of Strixhaven CHAOS. I am Adam Bradford, the CDO at Demiplane. You can find me on Twitter at BadEyeAdam, and I'm tired of talking, so we're going to go to Hope next.
Hi, I'm Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on Twitter at the Hope LaVelle. I'm a motion capture performer by day, and then I play D&D at night. I am playing Impa Gravestone, your friendly Luxodon cleric. She's got a big heart and a big trunk.
Is there any junk in the trunk? All right, Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen Kretchmer. You can find me on Twitter as @DreamWisp. You can find me streaming on Twitch as DreamWispJen. This Sunday, you can find me doing a charity game for Jasper's Game Day, for which I am an ambassador with Vancouver by Night. We will be playing at 3 p.m. Pacific. We're going to play some pirates. It's going to be a blast. We're level 12, and it'll be a ton of fun. It'll be on twitch.tv/Vancouver by Night.
Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content coordinator for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find me on Twitter as Lauren. I am also playing in the Vancouver by Night Jasper's Game Day charity stream. Not the same game, unfortunately. Pirates sound fun, but I'm in the game before that, I'm pretty sure. Yes, right before that, where we're playing level 20 epic adventurers. I've pulled out an old favorite, Idovan, for those who have seen my kobold monk. I love him so much. But tonight, I'm going to be playing Malinky Komanik, who's a Swarmkeeper Ranger, who's spent the last 2 years being really pissed off about what happened during the events of the big game, because that was scary, and I don't like that. Also, it behooves me, as the content coordinator for Idle Champions, to remind you all that, hey, Idle Champions Present Court of the Raven Queen started yesterday with person who's going to talk after me and has words about things, and they're all excellent words, B. Dave Walters, as the DM. And I'm playing Orkira. Yay! Just doing lots of heals. All the heals. That's Monday night, 4 p.m. Pacific on the Idle Champions Twitch channel, which is C&E Games. So, hey, if you want to see B. Dave and I twice in a row for a couple of weeks, here we are. Yay!
Dreams
Healing
do come true.
Flames. Healing flames. All right, and turning it over to our fearless Dungeon Master, B. Dave Walters.
Hello, it is I, B. Dave Walters. Deeply, deeply, deeply saddened that I cannot make it for the upcoming stream. I have pushed the pace and limitations of time and space for as long as I possibly could, and they've caught up to me. But that's okay, because Deborah and my dear homie Alicia Marie are incredible. The story is going to be incredible. Can't wait to see what you guys get up to. But before we can get up to that, we have to finish what we have started here in Strixhaven. As I say every time, Strixhaven is a fantastic adventure. It is a fantastic setting. We cannot properly do it justice in just 8 episodes. There is quite a lot to dig into here. So much so, we are going to jump way far ahead. The Mage Tower game was in your 2nd year. We are going to jump ahead to your 4th year so that we can find out here at the end what the heck has been going on. Hopefully, you all will be able to save Strixhaven and bring peace and order to the galaxy. Wait, no, that's a different thing. Have a lot of fun bringing at least,
Search your feelings, you know it to be true, okay?
I mean, that is literally accurate.
You're breaking my heart.
Going down a road I cannot follow. Exactly.
My light posse has the high ground.
That being said, before we get into a silky smooth and uneventful, and by silky smooth and uneventful, I mean climactic and apocalyptic year 4, I'm going to give you all a couple seconds here to tell us kind of what happened for the rest of year 2, what happened to year 3. When we first met these characters, you all were literally the new kids on campus. Now you all are legends. You are champions of Mage Tower. You also have defended the school multiple times. The story of your climactic battle with the Mage Hunters, in which some of you very nearly gave your lives right there on the field, has echoed through the hallways, and you all are celebrities. So now as the end of your adventure at Strixhaven begins, tell us what have you been up to? And let's start with the time lion himself here, Theo.
I'm lying. So Theo, over the last couple of years, so the moment with the Mage Hunters was a really defining moment for Theo, where it had been many years, going on a decade since he had done anything to harm even, a housefly. He has been, very pacifistic, yeah, that word. And so he, in that moment, seeing Niko and other friends that he's made along the way endangered, he kind of snapped a little bit, and that was coupled with some of the research that he's been doing, where he has been trying to undo a mistake from his past, and he has finally come to the realization that that's not the way that time works. And so Theo has, with that realization in hand, you're going to see, possibly a slightly, darker Theo who, over time he just stopped pulling punches and whatever tortured Andrew Garfield type take that we can do here. And so he is far less studious at this point. But he still has somehow held on to his scholarship for this time, but probably barely.
Excellent. Niko
has been doing her best to study. She has been, her focus is hit and miss sometimes, but she's been coming in the evenings to continue doing her best to study. She has been trying her best to learn about the things that we've been encountering and kind of dig into what we might have seen, and see if she can glean any information about those things. I'm trying to figure out why my camera is out of sync.
It's not terribly out of sync, actually. I mean, earlier it was. It's actually not bad right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
On my end it is, and
my
it's
mic
bugging
wasn't
me.
working. Her camera wasn't working. We've been going through it
We've been
today,
having
y'all. But no,
tech
it's pretty
stuff today.
No, you're good right now, though.
Wish I could hide myself. Okay. But yeah, so I've been working on those things, as well as sort of practicing my shapeshifting and continuing to improve to the point that I have now mastered flight in addition to swimming. We're going to earth, sea, and land here. Swimming was a scary one because Niko comes from the grasslands. It's quite a different experience. But Niko also has been digging into the sort of the fairy circle that she encountered in the grasslands as well. She's been digging a little bit into the fae. Not too much because they scared her, but doing a little homework to see what's going on there, see what the mathematical probability of there being a fairy circle in the middle of the grasslands would be and what might cause it.
Mathematically, the probability is high, having run the Witchlight, high.
Fun fact, the inspiration for this came from an actual fairy circle that appeared in Namibia.
Don't go into it. That's my advice to everybody.
Or
don't go into it.
Or go into it and just be ready for the consequences.
Don't eat the food. Never say I'm sorry. Avoid eye contact. Like, there's some basic rules to survive Pan's Labyrinth.
No favors.
Right. No, you can accept no favors. You know what? Don't go in the
Don't give your name ever.
Right. Also that. I love the fact we grow up, we're all like, ooh, fairy tales. In the actual fairy tales, we're do not F with fairies. That's the tale. Okay.
The lesson is don't mess with them ever.
However, speaking of fairies, at least we've got some fairy fire going here from Mal.
So Mal would have been there to try to help his roomie stay out of being more serious and a little more grim. Except Mal was right there with him because, yeah, seeing your boyfriend get stabbed by a mage hunter in the middle of what's supposed to be one of the happier days of your school year is gonna put a damp on things. And while my time lion friend, it has been many, many years since he experienced any kind of battle, Mal is not that far removed. It's only been a year or two, basically since he joined Strixhaven. So he's continued his studies and has been perfecting his art and his his swarm of lightning bugs are able to make some absolutely beautiful patterns up in the sky. They can actually lift people up and he can hover on them. And during the day, he seems fairly normal. But yeah, at night, he prowls a lot and he's looking for more danger that is out there because he's been very upset at the lack of interest from the academic staff to fix that issue. So yeah, he might have backslid a little bit about being serious. He never goes anywhere without his weapons, even though he'd like to not do that. And he's definitely on the side been studying some magic that is not going to help him with his art. It's going to help him with fighting things.
That can be an art also.
I mean,
yes.
martial art.
Absolutely, but you know what I perform on the stage and what I perform in the back alleys, two different kinds of art.
Well, in your year 3 experiences, we're also full of intrigue and mystery and no small amount of conflict, but nothing that matched the battle with the Mage Hunters, the day of the Mage Tower tournament. Last, but certainly not least, Impa Gravestone.
Impa has been up to a couple of things, mostly trying to pick up many hobbies, including getting better at Dragon's Chess, spending time with Rampart, and learning how to use a battle axe because she needed to be more well-rounded. So that is a thing.
I need to be more well-rounded. Battle axe.
She has continued to work with the spiritual choir, and on top of that, she has been specializing in magic that involves spirits and all of her friends amongst the campus, all of her dead friends amongst the campus, you know, such as spiritual gardens, spirit shroud, spiritual weapons, spirit guardians, all of those sorts of things that help where she can call upon the dead to help her in battle. So that is what she has been up to.
Impa, I need to know, are you swinging your battle axe with your trunk?
Yes. Of course.
There is
another way to do it.
Thank you all for tuning in. This has been Strixhaven CHAOS. We'll be back next week, maybe. I don't know.
It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, no, that's the high water mark. There was.
Like Dave,
yeah.
Real quick question that they are alerting me to from chat, and I know that we've said it a few times, but just to clarify for the audience before we dive in, what were the creatures from last time?
They are called Mage Hunters. They are extra dimensional creatures. Hang on 1 second. Let me see if we have the technology to do this here. What's going on? No, it's nowhere near that impressive. Trust me. I'm just trying to see here. Sorry, I'm seeing if I can just show you real quick. And then I ran through my head about 15 different ways to do it. And the easiest way is I'm just going to drop the Mage Hunter link in chat right now. Boom. There you go. That's what they are. They're Mage Hunters. There you go. They are essentially legally distinct xenomorphs, if xenomorphs hated magic in particular. But why they are doing what they are doing and whomst has sent them is yet to be revealed.
How very whomst.
How very whomst.
And from whence they came. And from I didn't do any common classes. Okay, wait. Where, who, how, what's that? Oh, the whole 5 questions is supposed to ask who, what, where, when, why. Wherefore, why,
wherefore.
And how then. Yes.
Right. Yet to be revealed.
Wherefore is why.
We got 2 episodes left, so perhaps, and I would think your characters as well would be somewhat preoccupied by this mystery as well, having found nothing like that except for the shed chitinous scale of one of those things out in the Witherbloom Swamp. So at least you know it had been there. I would also say that in the time that would come after the Mage Tower game, it would have become clearer to you that these 2 hunters in particular had been stalking the 4 of you for some time, and expressly attacked during a moment of vulnerability when you were tired and alone after the big game. Besides that, you wouldn't have found out anything else, despite our voluminous time jump. That still would have been a mystery dangling up until now. So, as you return to campus for the 4th year. All of your hard work has come down to this, your 4th and final year as a student of magic at Strixhaven University. But as soon as you arrive on campus, it is clear that something is very wrong. Instead of the useful, cheerful bustle, students mill around campus nervously. Here and there, you hear frightened whispers. I heard his name is Murgasaur, and I heard he wants to hurt us all. The rumor mill has apparently discovered that grave events have happened since last academic term. Now, we have a number of natural 20 rolls that are banked from previous episodes, and almost certainly are about to roll a number of natural 20s now. So I'm gonna do my best, y'all. So true. You know, I hope springs eternal. Literally, she's right there. But otherwise, put the odds at 50-50, you know? Theo, as you are making your way back to campus, you feel a shift in the chronosphere around you, despite the fact you've come to realize the thing you intended to do, to go back and right a wrong, isn't quite possible because it would set off such a calamitous sequence of events up to and including stopping you from coming back to right said wrong, and it just becomes paradoxical. But you've still become a highly adept time lion, and you realize something is out of whack, and you hear and you see what looks like a shiny bronze ball, but it has arms and legs and one eye in the middle. And it... Are you Theo the Time Lion?
I am. I believe that you are a Modron, if I have read the books properly.
I am. All hail the Modrons. I am here to witness your supremacy and total mastery of all arts of time and space, although you do not appear to be of the correct age. What age are you currently temporally?
I believe I'm somewhere in my 32nd year.
We have miscalculated. There's a number of years until you perfect your craft.
I don't know. I am pretty outstanding as it is right now.
That means today is the day of the battle. Ah, yes. Have you met with Professor Verelda Lang yet? She's going to set you out on a mission that will be life-defining and unfortunately quite difficult, possibly fatal to some of your companions, although I'm not meant to tell her to reveal the truth to you. I apologize.
That actually makes quite a bit of sense because there's always loss and casualties in any type of battle, any type of war. And so it's probably acceptable losses as long as it is a sacrifice to the greater good.
A little door swings open in front of you, and a little arm extends with a book in it, and it's like, might I have your autograph? When I get back to the clockwork nirvana of Mechanist, no one will believe that I met the Time Lion.
And you see at this point that Theo just kind of like cocks his arms just a little bit. And you see instead of robes, he's wearing like sleeveless leather at this point. And then he takes out a quill that just appears out of nowhere. And then he licks it. And he basically, his signature is kind of a drawn face of a line like Rafiki might do. And then you see that like the whiskers and everything else make almost like a clock symbol on it.
It rotates it around and it looks at it for a second and it just closes the book and hugs it. And it's like, by chance, has Impa Gravestone made it back to campus yet?
Oh, I believe that she has. She has quite the following these days. She doesn't know whether they're ghosts or real people or not, but people just follow her everywhere. I think I heard the commotion that direction.
Oh, the undead hordes of Impa Gravestone are legendary in the clockwork nirvana of Mechanist. I've said too much again. Perhaps I should depart before I further disrupt the timeline. Although, Theo, there is one important thing that you must know.
What is
when
that?
When the time comes that you confront the wizard, you must, and it pops out of existence.
Always so helpful, aren't they?
What would you like to do, Theo? It asked if you've seen Verelda Lang yet, because today's the day.
Definitely start just with purpose, not in any kind of urgent rush, but also not lollygagging. Purposefully make my way to the professor, and as I do, because we have previously done this, it's a big campus. I start casting the Rary's telepathic bond ritual, and try to speak to everyone telepathically that Theo calls close friends, which would include the people around this virtual table.
Important point of clarification. All this time in, do you guys still room together?
Yeah.
Theo would not have a reason to leave Mal unless Mal had a reason to.
Mal didn't have a reason, but considering one of these wild magic surges, Mal might still be hiding in his room.
I will say, when you hear the call, Mal, based on your current state, how do you respond?
Theo, I told you no. I'm not coming out. No.
So ultimately, to clarify on Rary's telepathic bond, Theo is going to begin casting the ritual. I'm hopeful that by the 10 minutes and then one action or whatever, I do have to be within 30 feet. So like I'm trying to collect as I go. And so so basically it goes to Mal first and just opens. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna say you have wrangled Impa and Niko, and you're outside your dorm room, outside the window where you can reach Mal.
Okay,
Mal doesn't want to come out.
So then you're going to telepathically Mal hear Theo just, "Come, Mal, we need your assistance. It is time for you to get out of this stupor." And then Theo is really, really importantly placing what looks to be like kind of a harp and some other instruments over the top of his head, and then ultimately he is trying to telepathically give images of something really cool happening out of the window to try to get Mal to look out the window, and then there will be some kind of tune coming out. If Mal actually comes, it'll be dun 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 dun.
Legally distinct.
Yes.
Very legally distinct.
And despite the fact that Mal is very self-conscious at this moment, does not want to be seen, he cannot help go to the window and look out, and a little head pokes out, and the normal, sometimes blue, but mostly reddish brown tinted owlin face that you are used to looks like something out of a demonic curse, as all of his feathers have fallen out. And so you just... I told you I didn't want to come out.
It is time, Mal. We need your assistance.
With what? With scaring all the first years?
Impa, Niko, do either of you say anything when you see this oddly shorn head pop up in the window?
Niko goes, "Oh, go ahead."
No, you go ahead.
I mean, I've always wanted to shave my head. I think it's fantastic. And let's go scare some first years.
Point of clarification. Since I'm going to run with this, no matter what. How much of my feathers have fallen out? Is it everything?
Oh, 100%. No, you are a bear. You tell me what color Mal's skin is underneath. Although I'm gonna say you're quite a ways into this. It was a 24-hour affliction. I mean, maybe you were after a particularly festive dye job for the first year of a senior.
Yeah.
Jen just wrote alopecia in chat, and I'm deeply offended. Just deeply offended. I'm simultaneously so proud and so angry. It's weird to be experiencing these emotions like an equal part. Like I have never loved and also hated you more in a like right at the same time.
Just welcome.
Mal's fluff is still a reddish brown, but the underskin is like this weird gray. And nothing has grown in yet. And in hiding his embarrassment with anger, the normally small owlin, who also kind of has a very big charismatic presence and fluffs out and is wearing armor and swords and the whole thing, jumps onto the windowsill. What you see is kind of a naked chicken. And he says, "I am a demon from the 9 hells at this moment. And this is super uncomfortable."
No one was saying anything about the way you look.
I was.
We just need your help, Mal.
Okay.
It's time.
Do you want to go get tattoos? I mean, now's the time.
Is it
perhaps
really?
after we visit the professor.
Why are we visiting the professor? What are we doing?
Impa, was Impa gonna say anything?
Not anymore now that she's
Mal will roll his eyes and grab his gear because he does still have like his armor on and all of his stuff, even though it doesn't quite fit right because it's used to being over floof. And then you hear him from inside go, "Posse, help!" And then he comes flying out, not using his wings, but on top of all of his lightning bugs, because he has now learned how to control them enough that they can carry him. It's really slow, super slow. And it would be majestic on this carpet of shimmering golden lightning bugs, except there's a naked chicken on top of it. And they land him gently on the ground. And then he stands there. And then they continue to swarm around him because they're used to then finding spots inside of his feathers. And they don't know where to go now. And so he just stands there looking miserable.
And Theo, as you were descending, Theo, does a and then it's going so slow that it kind of the chime goes out and then it's silent for a little bit and then he does one more before you land.
Impa,
Don't make fun of the posse.
you find the light and the angelic singing starts to move through your undead entourage, and they all start to harmonize and glow as well. And you all see Impa starts to glow very brightly. Like, it's difficult to look at her as wild magic takes hold of her, making you all cast long shadows against the wall as she just blazes.
I'm simply glowing, you guys.
I mean, they did always say you were bright. But also, and Niko pulls out a pair of sunglasses and kind of like, this is rough. So looks away.
Why? I'm just gonna keep asking why. What's going on? What's with this?
I mean, I suppose we're just chosen ones from the wild magic of the world.
Okay.
Strange things have happened the entire tenure of our time here.
Yes, but some of them have at least been fun or understandable. At least you got the glowy bits. That's nice. David, come here. And he's gonna grab one of his lightning bugs and go over and circle like a halo. Go on. And one of my lightning bugs is just gonna like a little halo above your head. There you go. Now you're complete.
Impa, you notice it, like, he's struggling not to look right at her, though. Like, it's rough, but it's like managing to do it there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what is this adventure that we're doing today?
I'm not actually sure. We need to go visit the professor. I had a Muldrun come in and ask for my autograph, of course, first, but then after it stopped geeking out over its passionate fandom, it then instructed me that I needed to go and see the professor. It talked about something that happens in the future, and if I know anything, you can trust people when they talk about what's going to happen in the future. And he is saying this super sarcastically. And then he just says, so we just need to go see what's going on. I'm sure there's some kind of wild whirlwind adventure that we're supposed to go on, and we need to go take care of our business.
An important point of clarification. Theo has said that his style has changed over time. Have any of your other styles changed? Do you look different, dress different than you used to, or are you just senior students now?
Impa, her popularity has soared, so her confidence has as well. So she's a little bit more preppy, a little bit more confident.
Perfect.
Big L on
Niko's
campus.
hair has gotten a little curlier, and the curls are forming perfect Fibonacci spirals. So you've got golden ratio stuff happening with all of her styling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she's still pretty punk. All her stuff is still very much, she's still into the kind of studded bracelets and stuff, but they're studded with leather the same way, and the belt. But obviously she's in her Quadrix colors.
And is Niko still cheerleading, having become a sports star?
Heck yes. Exercise is important, and it's a ton of. Have you ever been on top of a pyramid like that and done 7 backflips coming down and still get caught? Like, my squad is my squad.
I haven't done it recently.
And
Go
Mal,
Strixhaven.
alopecia aside,
What?
has Mal's
Yeah.
look changed?
Not really. Hey, listen, I'm here for it. I'm not here for this, but I'm here for the rest of it. He is he's still been flamboyant. Hey, maybe that's why all of his feathers have fallen out. Maybe he got too excited about the rainbow dyes. We don't know. He's been less likely to hide the fact that he is usually wearing armor and armed, whereas the first couple of years he was at least putting on the robes over it. The swords were tucked in a little tighter, and now part of it is he's a fourth year, and so who's gonna tell him otherwise? But also at this point, it's function over form. So when he's not performing, he is kitted out kind of in the way that he used to be when he was living in Sigil.
Excellent. Excellent. Do you all intend to go see Professor Varel DeLang? You all know her. She's your biology professor when you took your biology exam. So she's you all know exactly where she is.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just want to know, besides the fact that you got your third visit from a Modron this week, I mean, because they keep coming by.
No,
At least
the first one was 2 weeks ago, but yes.
okay, our second one this week. Then, at least you got a little bit out of him. Why? Why are we going to visit her?
Listen, I have learned over time that there are forces beyond our comprehension that are guiding our fate. It's almost like someone is telling our story, and we are merely players in it. And so it feels as if it is something that we should do. I believe in storytelling, they call it the hook. And so we need to take the hook, and we need to grab life by the horns and dig our claws in deep and rip its jugular out.
That got really violent really quick, but I'm here for it. Okay.
You know what? The way of nature is the way of nature, okay?
I mean, that's true. Niko, do you have a question?
I was going to say, I mean, so 2 questions. One is for the DM, which is, have I discovered anything in my research of all of this about what might be going on? The things that have happened,
You're about to find out.
Okay. And then my second question is for my friends. So this Mercazor, are you all hearing about this person that everybody's talking about, or this place or this thing? I don't know.
I've heard, but I hope that it's a dinosaur. But it probably is not, and so therefore it's probably
sounds like it's deep in the bogs.
Possibly. But
I mean, maybe someone saw me yesterday, and that's what they think. I've been mistaken for a lot of things when
Murgaxor. Sorry, I was hearing things wrong.
They might have gotten that wrong. Yeah,
it was just I was getting to school. I had my I was listening to like all of the things happening on campus. Maybe some music was happening.
Let's go. Theo starts walking wherever this professor is.
When you all arrive at Varel DeLang's office, which I'm posting a picture in our other chat because it's easier to send over there, you all are quite familiar with her. She is a dryad, but she's a different kind of dryad than your friend Theo. She looks almost more like a human if they had a wood-colored skin, but she almost has like lichen growing over her face in a very decorative way and glowing amber eyes.
And I am liking it.
As you all walk into her office, she looks at you immediately and she says, "I was just about to call for you. How did you?" Oh,
we had a Modron visit, timeline.
A Modron, like the clockwork beings that live in an entire different plane of existence. Those
atomic... Is it.
Timeline.
It's just a Tuesday. Oh, you don't know what Tuesdays are in this world.
I would ask if they told you anything else about what I'm about to say, but it's probably better that I don't know what else they might have told you. I wouldn't want it to affect what's about to happen.
It could create a paradox that would mean you would never exist.
Well, that would be terrible.
Maybe
that's what you used to tell me when you were trying to get me not to bug you.
Maybe it'll create a paradox that means I won't lose all my feathers.
Oh, perhaps I might be able to whip up some sort of thing to help you
Ointment.
with it. Yes, exactly. It's an
Icy
topical
hot.
analgesic, that's but I'm forgetting myself. Apologies. Look at all of you. It was not that long ago that I was teaching you intro to magical physiologies, and now she motions and the door shuts behind
Now
you
we're
in her
teaching
office.
you about modrons.
I mean, I was aware of what a modron was. I said it out loud. You just told me that one was here on campus. I didn't know if we had a new student. I don't know. I mean, we have planar students that already attend. You know what? Fine. Listen, it's far more terrible than we thought. The we found evidence that all of the food supply of our rations, of clothing, of many of the things that we use here at Strixhaven have been tampered with. A strange magical signature left behind by the culprit that we now believe is Mergaxor Grinchel is responsible. But he's hidden himself from all known forms of divination magic. It's clear that Mergaxor has enacted a protection ritual against all spells and effects cast against him by any faculty member. Myself, the deans, none of us can do anything to him. But it gets worse. Mergaxor's influence over one of the deans coerced her into tainting the spell components. The food, the drink, nearly everyone on campus is used for the last year, including you. Anyone who came in contact with these are now threatened by the ritual that Mergaxor is conducting. Once complete, this ritual will drain the life energy out of everyone affected. Some will die, others may not. Either way, we believe that the ritual will transfer that energy into Mergaxor, making him immortal. Mergaxor's plan is clear now, and we faculty members are powerless against him, but you are not.
Well, I don't know. I think it's already started. Have you seen what's left of my wings?
Is this an early effect? And you do see, like, she comes near you and she just starts like turning your head and touching your skin and like looking at you, and she goes,
Don't touch there. That's ticklish.
this
No.
she kind of stops for a second, and then she steps back and looks at you and says, Maliki Carmanek,
Yeah.
what did I tell you about buying feather dye from kobolds?
Don't
They
do
have
it.
scales. Why would you think they would be able to make an effective feather dye? Like what in their history would allow you to think that that's a thing they could do?
Because I don't make assumptions that one group of people can't make stuff for another group of people. And this is the first time that there's ever been any issues. It's been years. I've been dyeing my feathers for years. No problems. No
What
problems
else is
till
in the
suddenly-
room?
You and I,
'Cause
you and I
Niko's gonna
both
start
know.
fiddling with stuff while they continue talking.
She's a Witherbloom professor. There's all manner of vials, sample plants.
Niko's
like,
off,
yeah.
like
It's like-
playing with the different vines and exploring.
You know for a fact that you did not mean to turn your feathers blue that time. I know.
I know for a fact that I warned you. I did the ritual augury, and it came back as a woe response. And I also, because I was truly concerned for you, after the second time, I cast a divination ritual and got guidance that it was a terrible idea for you to do it, and you proceeded anyway.
And it was all fine until yesterday. And then all of a sudden we got an evil person who's been like sabotaging the water for this entire year. So how do you know it could have just been, coincidence?
Impa, you feel Alfred sort of tugging at your mind, trying to show you something on the professor's desk.
Oh, I'm looking.
Give me either perception or investigation.
Can I see this and be extra distracting to help?
Well, you are locked in conversation with the professor right now, and your
All right.
cautionary tale.
That's a 19.
You see, it is a list of information about Mergaxor. It's a file that she has.
Yoink.
That's actually for you, Impa. It's for all of you. It's all the information we've been able to collect.
Impa, I am so proud. We just got to get you to stop saying yoink when you actually
That
take
is true.
something.
That's
You
you're
just-
already no. You're
You just
slightly
got to be quiet
conspicuous.
about it.
Yeah, no.
But the rest of that was
you're
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Quiet
But
the rest of the time. The one
yoink
time
is-
you make
yes,
noise
exactly.
is the yoink.
Right. When the
I
only
could have
time
gotten
you
away
talk is
with it
when
if
you're
it
doing
wasn't for me
crime.
saying yoink.
Yes, that is.
It's
It is
like a
highly-
reflex. You do crime, you say yoink.
It's true.
The rest of the time,
we-
you're just silent.
We all know it, Impa. Actually, that's
We'll
yes,
get there. We'll get there. We'll keep practicing.
And she does give you this folder that has some information in it, which I'm also about to send to the other thing because it's an image I have to send. But here's what it says.
Ooh, that's a
Actually,
picture.
you know what? I'm gonna let one
Oh,
of you
wow.
say what it says. Can you read it? Can you click it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it works, right? All right. You know what? Impa Gravestone, since you yoinked the folder, you can say what it is that it says inside.
What am I looking at?
There are other chat.
Okay.
I send a bunch of stuff to the other one because it's an image.
What am I reading?
Twitter.
The words.
The
image
words
has-
for the Mergaxor?
I mean, unless you want to describe this absolutely gorgeous
Oh,
bullywug.
my
because-
goodness. All
It's
right.
true.
Mergaxor is a bullywug who attended Strixhaven 200 years ago. Oh, that's why I've heard of him. He was a member of the Witherbloom College, though there are no records of him participating in activities on campus.
Well, he
He's
missed out on a lot of
mean-spirited,
fun stuff.
egotistical. Oh, my goodness. He's been expelled. Oh, right. Do you guys want me to read more of this? Do you guys get the gist?
Well, we definitely need to understand the dossier before we go and do whatever needs to be done to Morgaxor.
He's been seen in Sedgemoor and the detention bog. Maybe that's where we need to go.
What was he expelled for? What was he
Oh,
doing?
right,
Besides
right.
being
sorry.
just nasty and evil.
He was using life-draining magic when it resulted in another student's death. And he fled before he could be handed over to the authorities.
You see Alfred tugs on your cape and points at himself, Impa.
Whoa. Alfred! It was you! No!
Wait,
Alfred
what?
is
Let's
Morgaxor?
revenge! Right now.
No. Alfred couldn't be Mergaxor. Mergaxor was a bullywug, and
No.
Alfred's like a...
Mergaxor is the one who killed Alfred. That's Alfred's death. It's a wrongful death, and now we must get our revenge for Alfred.
So
Well,
wait,
yeah,
though.
for Alfred and for my feathers. Hey, find out from Alfred. Can you find out, like, did Mergaxor have like a weakness or like a fondness for sweet cakes we could
I mean,
poison?
I don't think Alfred
or-
knew it.
I mean, Alfred's been
he
around
doesn't
for
know
like
anything.
another couple hundred years. Who knows?
Right, but Alfred isn't he's very self-centered. He doesn't really pay attention to anything else that's going on. Yes, I'm
You
speaking to
you see a book flies off the desk at Impa, which you very much see. He throws at you, Impa. Yeah.
Poltergeist.
Apparently.
We're about to avenge your death, all right?
But wait, if you avenge his death, he will probably disappear and not be your friend any longer.
Oh, you're just going to sleep.
Just to take a little nappy nap.
He's going to take a nap. Are you not going to leave me, are you? Alfred, you're my best friend.
He's absolutely going to leave.
Oh my goodness.
But
And
it
he
might
like
be
does come forward and like hugs you, Impa, which he's the size of a person, so he's much smaller than you, but you feel it.
I trust you. We'll do this for you.
Professor Lang speaks up and says, we have an idea where he might be hiding, actually. It is not where you might expect. It is not just the... There's a fortress out in the Badlands, ruins. We thought he might have been in the detention bog, and when we picked up his trail, that is where it led. This is also how we discovered that we're not able to stop him or detect him through our normal magical means. We do need you four to go there and see if you can find anything. And if you find him, stop him.
All right.
When I run things one day, the faculty at this place is going to be far more useful than you have proven to be.
He's had 200 years to prepare. A bullywug normally lives 75. I don't know how he's managed to ward himself against us.
To ward himself? Is that what you said?
Theo. All of you. Mal, Niko, Impa. Again, he's thought of everything except you. If I had to wager a guess, I believe he is the one that was probably behind the mage hunters. That's why you all had to be stopped early, because he knew he could neutralize us, but not you. You have an opportunity here to stop whatever he's planning and save everyone, including yourselves.
Skip finals.
Oh, Theo. Thought you
We do
like
this,
finals.
we graduate. Final exam.
You do this, you all graduate with honors. You don't have to go to class at all this year if you
Done.
manage to stop an evil wizard that is besetting the school.
I mean,
Done.
we could still
Wait,
go. if
Theo,
we-
are you trying to get out of class?
So
What happened to
Class
you over
does no
break?
good for me anymore. This is academic book learning. I need to get out into the world.
Someone's got senioritis, I see.
all right, look,
Seems
we'll
like
do
it.
this. Absolutely, we'll do this. But you must be helpful in some way. You must be able to give us some sort of protection or healing aid on our way, because going into the Badlands, that sounds dangerous.
It
It
is
sounds
dangerous.
honestly
the
bad.
teachers
They're
here,
not named the
the teachers-
Goodlands.
they
Yes,
have
you
to
all-
resurrect students all the time and protect them. It seems like
healing potions. No, it's very rare for a student to die on campus. Sorry, Alfred. We do our level best to keep everyone here safe, but you have to realize we're teaching children to wield unchecked eldritch power. That's why the wild magic goes loose all the time. It is a wonder that this school has stood for the centuries it has, and we would like it to stand for centuries more.
that's true.
Sure.
I still want to get paid. I might still attend classes.
You see,
I mean, as strange as it is, I'd actually like to learn.
I already
mean,
know
why
Maybe there
not?
were
everything I need
fundamentals
to
we
know for this
missed. You
place.
know, there's
I mean, why not both? Why not get paid and to learn?
Payment is also good. And actually, while we're at it, since we are literally the only ones who can do anything about this, apparently, that's how this has all been orchestrated by the fates. I would say that we also, if we so choose, secure our first posting in the job that we desire to have post graduation. So, if anyone wants to stay on the faculty, for instance, and possibly one day run the school, then that person could get their job post secured. None of the competition that happens with that, none of the signups, pass that completely and entirely right into the position.
so nepotism.
I'm not a dean of Witherbloom or any other college, but I'm sure you all will be given every favorable courtesy. Have I not mentioned also that your lives are in peril as well?
Oh, I'm not scared of this little frog.
We're definitely going because our lives are in peril. We're just doing negotiations now, you know. We took that negotiations 101 and now we're putting that whole thing to use.
No, you all have clearly learned very well. It
Part of
has
global
been
diplomacy.
Exactly.
delightful seeing you grow up until this point.
And you'll have to excuse my timeline friend over here. He woke up on the wrong side of time this morning. Modrons make him itchy, and you know I'm just naked.
I'm fine.
Although your
There-
battle axe and your Alfred are
I'm
cool.
kind of bored. So
Oh.
maybe we
there-
can go
There may
get
be
the things.
one thing I can do for you. I might be able to get you a little closer inside the fortress. Closer than you would have
Okay.
been otherwise.
Oh, that is very helpful. Oh, I thought that gives me a great idea. You said closer. So I want a closer place to park the hippogriff.
How about
Um,
this? Can we pause the negotiations and resume them when we complete the task? Can we
Well,
have a
no,
guarantee
we
of
have
open
no
negotiations
leverage
when
at
we
that point.
return?
Oh, we'll have all the leverage. We'll be alive. It'll be okay. Yeah, come on, Time Lion. We gotta get going before
Very
your
well.
sister decides that she's just gonna hop on without us.
You see, she goes over to the corner and she like physically pulls the bookcase out, and she reaches behind it and she pulls a brass frame out that it's like a small square that has been collapsed. And she says, I warn you, before I activate this device, prepare yourselves. I do not know what you will encounter on the other side. And even if it succeeds at transporting you deep into the fortress, you will then be surrounded on all sides. Do you understand this?
Yes, and I will go ahead in a second. I'm going to cast invisibility right before we go. But
Okay.
before we do, I do want to I'm peeking over Impa's shoulder at the list of stuff.
Mhm.
So here it says that Merxagor was using life-draining magic. Do you know anything about that? I know Witherbloom is all life and death, and do you know anything about countering that, or shutting that down? Life finds a way regularly, I have heard.
Do you all remember years ago when those inanimate objects were coming to life, the Eldritch Bomb, that journal you found, all of those things? I think that was his early research and just early testing of what he could do with this power and how he could affect the campus. Perhaps if I knew more about the actual ritual, I might be able to give you some insight, but I mean, such things are forbidden. Neither.
Yeah, except we had that. Didn't we have that book?
You do have a journal of his, although remember his journal was nonsensical ramblings. It was like words
down the runes and stuff, though.
Oh yeah,
right?
you did. Yeah, but it's like it didn't make sense. It's like it was words, but not in an order that is in any way logical.
We were first years.
But you did show the professors. They didn't understand it either.
Oh, and this professor in particular didn't?
You know what? Actually, give me Arcana again. All of you can give me Arcana. Because this is information you still possess. And now you have learned a lot.
Nat 20 for 25.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
Impa. Niko's right. As you read this again, you realize the things that he's written don't make sense on the prime material plane. But not every plane is dictated by the same rules and the same laws and the same magic. So if he has some sort of extraplanar connection, which those mage hunters were clearly extraplanar, nothing like that is native to this world, that might be how he's doing it. And also why the Strixhaven people don't understand it. It's like it's from a place where physics is different.
Okay. All right. Theo, you got that.
All over it.
Great.
But that's where it is almost the Rosetta Stone of it, in the sense that it still doesn't innately help you do anything about it, but you're like, at least that is why this is working, why he even can do what he can do. I told you we'd get more 20s. Like I said, hope springs eternal.
All right, so when we show up to this place, are we sneaking, or are we just running and screaming and battling things?
I mean, I would think stealth is always going to be ideal, but she turns and looks at Impa and she's like, "Can you be quiet?"
I'm not so subtle anymore at this point, and so I am completely fine. Impa and I can perhaps get there in a place that causes a distraction. I mean, she has an entire entourage with her. I am a giant lion that likes to destroy things.
What this is going to do, and she kind of pats the bronze frame, is she's like, "It will transport you directly to the center of the fortress. I do not know what will even be in the room when the portal opens. I have no way to check, because if I open it, it's done. So I cannot guarantee that you will not arrive and immediately have to do battle, or perhaps you will have time to avail yourself.
So
I do not
Mal
know."
and Niko, you can be, skulking in the shadows if you would prefer to do that. Impa and I will kind of just appear, and we will see what we get.
Niko, you said that you had that invisibility going on?
That was my original plan, yeah.
Well, I've been studying your notes. You want to make one of them invisible, I'll make the other one invisible, and the two of us will try to be as sneaky as possible?
Absolutely.
I can make myself invisible if that's what we need to do.
Well, then why didn't you say so in the first place, Theo?
Because I don't prefer that approach.
Then instead, would you like me to make us? I mean, I won't be able to sustain it forever, but to make us kind of hide ourselves and move more.
We are about to just
sneakily
appear in the middle of this fortress in the Badlands.
You want to go all the way through? You want to start at the front and go all the way through?
No, what I'm saying is we're not going to be able to just appear out of thin air and be stealthy about it.
If we're invisible and we're quiet and we're
I grow tired. I'm impatient with this conversation, and so therefore I will say that we can go in stealthy, and then when inevitably someone sees us.
So what do you want to do then, Theo?
We go in here and show this frog who's boss.
Right, but what's the process by which? How am I the one trying to get a plan out of you?
I
How did that
don't know.
happen?
It's spells. We have learned so many spells, and you say Theo is just like sparking things out of his fingers. We blow it up.
Listen, I was going to use this on myself because I'm like super self-conscious, but at this point, Impa, you want to be invisible?
Well, that depends. Are my spirits also going to be invisible? Because, I mean, you know.
Yes.
Oh,
I can make them all invisible.
Then let's do it.
I reach over and
us
touch
all
her.
invisible. Let's do it.
I reach over and touch her and cast invisibility on her. Concentration up to an hour. And then I pull out my short swords and I crouch into I'm getting ready to sneak position.
And
Perfect.
Impa will look to Alfred and say, okay, now it's time to get your buddies, right? Get your buddies and we'll do the thing that we practiced, all right? And I'm casting Spirit Guardians.
Well,
So
cast that
am
before
I-
she makes you invisible. Otherwise, you'll come out of invisibility.
Which
But
is
that's a
why-
semantic
yes.
thing. So yes,
That's-
you
Am-
can
am
do
I-
that, Impa. Mhm.
Do you want me to cast Pass Without Trace, or do you want me to do invisibility?
I
'Cause
say
you can't
we
do both.
I say pass without trace because Timeline's got his own invisibility if he wants to be invisible. So
I don't
let's
really want to, but it seems like the tide is against me, and so therefore I will be.
Cool.
invisibility lion. And then you pass without trace. Oh yeah, posse, low light mode, and all of the lightning bugs go into sneak mode.
Perfect.
I turn down the dimmer.
Perfect. Niko,
It's like-
you yourself are stealthing as well.
Yes, we're gonna cast Pass Without Trace, and
Okay.
that'll give. Oops, sorry, did not mean to roll that. That doesn't count for anything.
That's fine.
But yes, +10 to everyone's stealth as long as I'm maintaining that.
Perfect. You see Professor Verinda reaches out and she touches this little bronze square and says something, and you goes and unfolds into a doorway, and on the other side you can see a dark room. There's a couple of torches hanging on the walls, but nothing else is immediately obvious. And she just says, "Good luck, we're all counting on you."
Right, no
You
pressure.
always
All right,
are.
who's going first?
Mal is already stepping on through. I've got dark vision 120 feet.
I'm going to
Uh,
step right behind her because I've got my Spirit Guardians on.
Perfect. Give me your stealth, Mal, in stealth for Niko.
That's a 35.
Holy
That's-
cow!
You've stepped off the prime material plane again. It's like
It's a
Mal goes.
19.
Yeah, it's like Mal
like you
goes
call
in
it with a
and just
Modron.
doesn't go in.
Mhm.
Tap it on the little bubble.
Niko, is you all come in, you see ineptly painted portraits of Margaxor hang on the walls of this shadowy cave. Stairs cut into the north wall that lead down to a lower level. You, Niko, are immediately aware of the fact that there are creatures in the shadows. The shadows are alive. You think maybe they haven't seen you, which is why or they haven't pounced or they're waiting for something, but you immediately know. Even though they're invisible, you're like, no, something's here.
I will tap everyone on the shoulder.
You still have your psychic bond. Well, no, wait, I guess you can't. You know, yeah, because you can't be invisible and maintain the psychic bond. Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought Rory's telepathic bond was not concentration.
It's a ritual that does
Well,
not require concentration once it's up, I think.
I think
Let's
so,
double
yes.
check.
So you should be able to be invisible.
Group chat and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
lasts 8 hours.
Lasts for an hour.
It is not concentration. So yes, that is correct. No, then yes,
Okay.
you can just talk to each other.
Then I will. There are folks, you know, there, and there, using mental, simple images of a mental map, laying it
Mhm.
out almost on a grid,
Mhm.
almost figures on the grid,
Almost like 5 foot squares.
like
weird.
5 foot squares. Yeah, it's to
Hmm.
scale, just like
Yeah.
little figurine-like things laid out where they might be.
Seems like something I'd be into. Yes. But as
Niko,
far
why
as
does my little figure look so naked? Make at least my little figure look like me, okay?
Niko drapes a loincloth around Mal.
Thank you.
What would you all do?
Also a
Again,
mohawk.
ahead,
Let's
there
make it
is a
look cool.
staircase right in front of you, staircase leading down into the earth. but you are surrounded. It may be that, again, that your stealth is succeeding, or they're waiting for something else before they attack.
I say we just keep going. I'm whispering in our minds because you never know.
Can anyone
Sure,
make
let's just keep going. Theo yells telepathically.
Can we just make? You want to make a distraction? Maybe make them look away.
I mean, do
I
you
mean,
want
we
me to
knew they'd
fight
be
all
here,
of them at
so-
once? That's fine. If we want to throw down, then
I mean,
am
even
down.
if it's just getting them to turn their heads and go take a look to see what made the noise, it gives us a minute to.
No, but right now they don't know we're here, right?
Correct.
So putting some sort of noise makes it seem like something is here instead of nothing. Then they become alerted.
Fair. Let's go then.
Let's just keep going.
I crouch, I walk, which I say in the telepathic bond because I assume that none of them can see me.
Niko, give me a perception check.
Okay. 23.
Is you sort of continue staring into the shadows. Again, you more feel that something's there more than see it. Once your eyes adjust, you do realize what it is. It looks demonic, but it is almost like it's the ghost of a demon. Like its torso sort of trails off into nothingness and its wings trail off into nothingness, but it's still got horns, sharp teeth, and very long clawed arms. And you see it is turning its head and looking left and right, but it never seems to quite look at any of you as you make your way past and slowly down the steps.
Since we are now in enemy territory, Mal is going to try to remember what he learned back in the day. I'm going to keep an eye out for traps. I am not the roguish type, but I'm going to do my best.
Absolutely. I would just like to say there is some just absolutely delicious wild magic sitting here that if were I not the kind, sweet soul you've all come to know me as, I would have set it off right then. No.
Yeah.
It's true. We love you.
That would have been great, though.
Not gonna lie, I thought about it. I'd be
Yeah.
like, I'm like, this plan is working perfectly. Be a real shame if something were to happen to it.
Yeah.
I'd take it.
As you all make your way down the stairs, you find that the fortress is a ruin upstairs, but as you go down, you get into a rough-hewn cave. And as you make your way down, it is pitch black down here, but you have the option to go straight, to the left, or to the right.
With my dark vision, I want to do a little bit of scouting just to see if I can find out any more about these three paths. And in the telepathic bond, I'll say, I'm just gonna look around a little bit. Shh.
Give me another stealth check and then a perception check.
Okay.
I think we should always go left. I don't know what this is about.
So I rolled a natural one on my stealth, which
Left is
still
the
gets
direction of all
me,
evil. Yeah.
which still gets me a 22.
What?
Because I have a plus 11 to my stealth,
That
and we have
doesn't seem
cast
real.
without trace
And then
up.
cast without trace.
So I have it's a natural one, which I know is always a fail. But that technically is a 22.
I apologize. One point of clarification. It actually is not pitch black down here. There are wall sconces that are lit by continual flame spells. However, Mal, as you are making your way through like a ghost, a natural one is a natural one. And you...
I'm not used to sneaking without feathers. I'm used to the feathers being the thing that dampens everything, and my claws are clicking, and I just don't know why.
Wow.
You're making your way through like a ghost that trips over something. You hear bonk.
Ah!
And on the ground right in front of you, Mal, you see a skull, what looks like a human skull, that erupts into flames and floats up off the ground right in front of you and looks to the left and right and goes, what? I'm free. No, okay. I've got to get out of here. I got to get back to Prismari. Help! right in front of you, Mal. All of you see and hear this flaming skull screaming for help. Right, right in front of you.
Hey, listen, I got a friend who can help you. But Impa. In my head, Impa, I gotta.
Impa's running back up the stairs. No, I'm just kidding.
Impa cast double deuces. Yeah, right.
I mean, Impa, I know you're still invisible, but can you come and talk to somebody for a second? You're better at this. And to the skull, I'll be like, hey, listen. We're here to help. We're here to help.
What?
No, we're not here to help.
Is it a
Making
ghost?
lots of noise. We're gonna be seen. We're gonna be heard. We're gonna be. We're caught. We're caught.
Help! I've got to get back to Prismari. Come help!
No,
Hey!
We gotta run. Let's just go.
Can I stand up and like grab this skull by the cheeks, like I'm trying to grab something by the shoulders and be like, hey, listen to me. Stop your yelling, look at me. You're looking at me.
That doesn't work. Theo just moves forward and just paws it, and like kind of like I do, with my dog when it won't stop barking. I'm just like muzzle it just a little bit, very gently, by the way, everyone, but just saying like, hey, quiet.
Give me persuasion, Mal.
Okay, I'm super persuasive. I
Yeah,
really
Theo
am.
is trying to grapple. If that doesn't work, is ultimately what
Perfect.
22. Hey, listen to me. Yeah, I know. You gotta get back to Prismari. Listen. We're from Strixhaven.
I
we're
will
students
let
there.
you go if you calm down.
Are you all here to rescue me?
Yes.
No.
Exactly.
Yes, that was our plan all along.
No.
Would you move your hand off my mouth?
Only
Can
if
you
you're
not yell though,
going to
please? Because
act.
we don't need to get in. We just kind of quieter is better.
My name is Vargas Kancia. I'm a
You
student of
didn't ask.
Prismari.
Listen,
You mean you were?
I just need to get. Morgaxor tricked me. He said we were going just looking for spell components, and he hit me on the back of the head.
Listen. Morgaxor is the reason we're here. Don't look down, okay? It's gonna be fine. We're here to take care of Morgaxor, and we're gonna get you back to class, okay? Because I'm also Prismari. Hey, you see my posse? And I will look spheres.
Hello, Prismari. Yes.
Yeah,
Let's do the secret handshake.
Oh no!
I told you not to look
No
down.
hands.
Yeah. Listen,
Look,
I don't have any
we all
feathers. You don't have
transform.
a
That's
body.
just
It's fine.
the natural way of things is we all change always. Our cells are constantly changing. Every 7 years, you're a completely new person. It's very like, it happens. So you're
I
in
used to
a
have
new
a
form
rat
for now.
tail.
It was bad. That rat tail was terrible. But so for
Impa.
now, this is what we're doing.
Impa,
It's a
you
cool
give me
look.
persuasion.
Oh no! I'm really bad at that.
I
That's
can.
not bad. It's a 13.
He also here he's in this first alcove straight ahead, which is it's a 3-way intersection where the tunnel widens into an alcove. Gooey mud covers the alcove's floor, and the air is oppressively muggy. And he just says, no, this can't be right. And he flies right down to the mud and starts rolling around in it. And he's like, this is protective mud. It's going to help me. I know it will. This is all just a bad dream. Maybe it's a bad dream. Perhaps I just had a bad piece of steak. This will not be the end of Vargas Kancia.
Well, I mean, it's
He's
not the
lost
end. Here
it.
you are. It's kind of an
Yes.
awesome flaming skull.
Yeah, it's a neat look.
Imagine all of the amazing performances you're gonna do as an awesome flaming skull.
You are certainly lit.
He does just float back up, covered in the mud and goop. And he's like, well, thank you for the rescue mission. I knew that Prismari would not forget about me, inevitably.
They did.
But
Yeah, I mean,
No,
listen, this is going to be awkward because we're about to stay and do the real mission.
We're
And
here
then they're
for
going to know that we didn't come here for them.
Yes, but I lie
bl-
really convincingly. Hey, listen, what you said your name was Vargas? Vargas?
Yes.
Vargas, right?
Yes,
Listen,
Vargas Consia. Yes.
we're here to rescue all the people that Murgasaur did dirty and take care of
Murgasaur.
Murgasaur. But
Yes. But
yes.
but I would
Also,
like to help.
there have been incredible advances in Warforged technology. You might be able to get yourself a really cool new armor suit body. Like you go talk to some of the artificers. You've been here a while, like 2 centuries ish, and you could if that's what you want. If you want to go back to a body, I'm sure we can figure something out.
What's a Warforged?
I
Oh,
know
no, they're
many
these-
Modrons, and if you get out of here quietly and don't ruin our real mission, then I can maybe talk to some of them.
Well, listen.
If you are here to help Strixhaven and the students and get revenge, then I will assist you. And then afterwards, please help me get back home.
Absolutely. Okay, listen. You're more than welcome to come on this mission if you want. If you don't, then what I suggest is you stay here and be quiet to help us sneak on over there. But
No.
but if you want to join us, quiet is the operative word. Okay, super quiet. Can you make the flames like watch, and I'll hold up my light posse who I just go shh and they dim.
Well, I've only been a flaming skull for about 18 seconds. But
okay, that's fair.
I can give you some information that might be of use.
That would be super helpful. Anything you
Wait,
could tell
what
us.
were you before you were a flaming skull?
I'm an elf!
Were you just a flaming, like you were just a skull before that?
I am an elf.
Was an elf
Well-
a very long time ago.
Theo, remember how you were a dwarf, but you were still you.
Sure, I'm not debating
our friend
whether
Vargas here.
they are them. I'm simply saying that they were dead. Like,
But
very
just because something or someone is dead doesn't mean they're not who they are.
Yeah, I mean, we got an Alfred.
We do have an Alfred. We love our Alfred.
very well.
Anyway, Vargas,
know
okay,
about
like if
Again, you could,
illusions,
your
but
spells
these
change
are
every 7 years.
delusions.
Are you the same person after? It's a great
Hey-
philosophical question.
hey, siblings, remember quiet operative term. Vargas, focus. If you want to stay here and just be quiet and give us a little bit of information and we'll keep going, that's
No,
great. Or
no.
you can come with,
Yes.
whichever. But first, any information you got about this place? Yeah.
Well, his lab is that way. He looks down one of the rooms in the T section.
Does he like to hang out in his lab?
Perfect. Let's go destroy the lab.
Well, I was kind of in a jar. I thought I was in a holding cell, and so I don't really know. I don't think he's here.
Yeah, elves fit in jars for sure.
Niko has started wandering around the room, kind of looking around, trying to.
Give me a perception check, Niko.
Cool.
By
13.
the way, the skull is going in a bag while we're walking.
This mud that is bubbling here, it does look. It's not really a natural formation. It does look like it's almost like a giant pot, like a potion is being brewed here, but like on a room-wide scale, just bubbly mud.
Does it seem dangerous?
He said the mud is medicinal and the skull rolled around in it, but I mean it's also a skull.
I'm
so.
gonna look down it. I mean, I know nature stuff. I can maybe tell what's in it, or if it's.
You think it might be some sort of protective muck, but
Sounds
with that
great.
roll,
I have no problem. I know how to change myself into a pig. So I am quite comfortable if I need to going and rolling around in the mud. Like
Are you gonna?
I would prefer to like make it look really cool, like do the under eye like grease paint stripes, but whatever I've
pig.
got to do.
Are you gonna roll around in the mud?
Sure, why not?
Roll 1d4 plus 1.
That's how many wishes you get.
Oh,
Surprise!
Don't you dare say that word around me. That is a 4-letter word.
It is literally a 4-letter word.
It is.
I figured
That would be
That's
2.
bullshit.
So 1 plus a 1.
You
Wobble.
feel the mud kind of like harden around you, almost like a form of almost like bio armor, and you gain 3 temporary hit points.
And
that
advantage on
feels-
all investigation checks to find truffles.
Yep.
That feels.
You basically
I
look
don't
like
smell any
MacGyver now.
truffles down here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this feels nice and sturdy. You know.
So the lab is
Hey,
this way.
friends.
That way, and he flies out of your hands, Theo, and like flies down the hall.
Let's go.
Like a glowing skull.
Alerting us,
Lights up everything.
alerting to our
Invisible
presence.
Impa is following.
Mm-hmm.
Mal
Um,
is doing his best to follow stealthily.
When you get in there, ritual circles drawn in fine chalky powder cover the floor. Notebooks, scrolls, and brass braziers sit on shelves carved into the walls. Give me, although I will say, Niko, the very first thing that you notice here is there is more of those writings, more than what was in the journal. If you recall, the journal was waterlogged and a lot of it was irretrievable. A lot of his writings about the actual ritual are here. You might be
Okay.
able to piece together more of it.
Sure, I'll take a look. I'll start digging into it. Though I'm not really the book learning person. I get really confused with the, hey Theo, you're better at this stuff than I am. There's, this is dark down here.
I've really lost my edge. I don't care about those kind of things as much anymore.
I don't
Impa's
care that you don't
probably-
care.
I suppose
Come
I'll
on.
take a look.
Okay, Impa, somebody who
Investigation.
can read this without. I think
I mean, I propel spells for death and destruction today, not for
Give me
reading
something good.
things.
Oh my god, you guys, I got a natural 1 and a natural 20 on my advantage.
We can never call
This
a
is
show
unbelievable.
chaos again.
We
Never.
have
Never
the-
again. Never.
the swingiest campaign. You learn 2 things, Impa, and I'm going to give you a bonus 3rd thing because a natural 20 is a natural 20. You still don't know how this works, but it is 100% clear that that is what he's doing. This is a life-draining spell on a massive scale. So the professor's right about what he's doing. Even though it still, how exactly he's going to do it isn't really clear because it should be nonsensical, but it is the plan. But the most important thing is you find where he is going to do it, which is in a place called the Ruins of Cairdoon, which is a couple of miles away from here. It's not very far, but it is not here. The other thing you notice is there is a hidden door in the wall.
All right, Cairdoon. We have to get to Cairdoon, but that's miles away. And oh, by the way, there's a door there.
Where?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
Oh.
invisible. I'm pointing and you can't see it. And I'll walk up to it.
And we still can't see you.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you could open it. You could open it, Impa. Or at least tell someone else how to open it so that you don't come out of your invisibility.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
have greater invisibility, and so I
Mhm.
can go and manipulate items and such. So
Let's do it.
where is the door? I still cannot
I'll
see.
throw a rock at it.
Oh, of course. I think I saw that.
You do hear like click, click, and the door does slide open, giving way to a small passageway that leads ahead. It will be a pretty tight fit for Impa. The rest of you could move through it easily.
I'm gonna look over at Vargas. This look familiar to you?
No!
Okay. Hey, listen, I don't want to assume anything.
Why would it look familiar to me? I'm from Prismari. I just was out trying to get some potion reagents,
And die.
and now I'm having a terrible dream.
It's a super terrible dream. The only reason I ask is because you knew stuff and you said you had information.
Hey, look, buddy. And Theo, a mage hand appears and pushes your shoulder. Hey, I'm having a hard day. right
A
now,
mage
okay?
hand
I don't need
appears
this
and
pass.
punches him in the face.
Mm.
You mess with the lion, you get the talons and the fang.
You see, he just looks at you and he's like, You just make me so mad that I want to, in bolts of fire, jump out of his eyes and miss wildly, just in different directions.
Oh,
Boom, and he goes,
no need for this. Don't
Oh.
escalate it. Listen, if you
Oh.
want to wake up from this dream, fly straight out of here, up the staircase. I'm sure nothing will happen to you up there, and just keep flying on all the way back to the school.
See you, Lauren.
I got fire eyes.
Listen, we told you to be in a floating skull. If you do leave, if you go up, there's like creepy shadow things up the
Yeah,
stairs.
I'm sure you'll be fine. You got fire eyes.
Well, but now you also know. So just be
I was going
cautious.
to tell him that.
Well, Theo, come on.
I was going to tell him about the shadow things, of course. I wasn't going to just.
Niko.
Yeah.
After he shoots this bolt of fire out of you, you start to feel heat building up inside of you, almost uncontrollably. Like you all see Niko starts to glow red hot.
I am going to use jump, and I am going to use my rabbit hop, and I'm going to get out of the way of everyone as quickly as possible.
Are you going down the hidden passageway or try and make it back the way you came?
I will go back the way I came, I guess, because we know it's clear.
Are the rest of you going to go into the passageway or just wait right here and hope Niko can get far enough away from you?
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, we're leaving.
Actually, may I cast a spell magic on myself?
Nope, because fireball just happens. So
fair enough.
How far can you go with your rabbit hop?
My rabbit hop can take me.
Can I
20 feet plus jump?
As a reaction.
Which is.
The wild magic cannot be stopped.
My jump distance is tripled. My jump distance is.
You all see Niko hops to the far side of the room because this is a pretty big room, and flames erupt in all directions, and the cave shakes. Yep, the cave shakes, and many of Muxagor's writing and script and everything on the wall is all burned away.
Did you mean to do that?
Niko, you okay?
There's so many weird things that happen to us.
I think. Am I okay?
Oh yes. This fireball just goes off.
Yep.
It's just a fireball.
See
It's fine.
Vargas looks at you and he goes, "Yeah, but you guys were
that
mad
mud
at
I was
me
rolling
for
around
making
in.
too much noise." And then okay, great, sure. From down the hallway, you hear, "Well, I'm sure that isn't Murgaxor, so why don't you just come on in here and let's just have a little chat?"
Down which hallway?
On the other side of the secret passage.
Oh, right.
In,
Sounds
in,
friendly. Let's go.
in the telepathic bond, because two of our companions are still invisible, right? Maybe now's the time that we try to like half stealth, half attack.
And Theo immediately drops concentration on greater invisibility and starts walking down the hallway.
Or maybe
He's going
not.
to go in there first.
And looks over at Vargas and says, any idea who that sweet person might be that we want to talk to?
She isn't sweet and you probably don't want to talk to her, but she wants to talk to you, so I think you might be out of luck right now. But that's okay. I'm going to come here and I'm going to help.
Okay. Hey, you got fire eyes. It's more than I got.
Yes. But wait, but I mean, we're Prismari. We're performers, right? We have everything we need.
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Secret handshake.
Listen, you got that mage hand, don't you?
Mage hand, secret handshake. And the mage hand does appear and does do the Prismari handshake.
I will use my Swarmkeeper magic to cast mage hand as well. So all of my lightning bugs come out in a little clawed hand, and I will do the secret Prismari handshake. And I'll say, all right, let's go follow the timeline.
As you all come into the room, a copper basin on a wrought iron stand rests on the floor in the middle of the cave. A pool of smelly water fills this cave in the northwest corner. And you see on the opposite side of this basin, a vaguely feminine form. She is covered in robes and she has where her face should be, she's wearing some sort of helmet that actually looks like it is made out of purple fractals, which I'm going to send you to our other chat here. And her hand is already glowing with a purple energy.
Wow. Pretty.
I trust you did not expect to come here to meet your doom, and yet here we are. Who are you?
I am Mal from the Nine Hells, and you're going to tell me what's going on. And I'm going to puff out my really disgusting form at this point, and I'm going to put on a show. And the little lightning bugs are going to start flashing all around me, and I'm going to look this thing straight in the eye and say, we came here for answers.
This sounds like Prismari nonsense. And she motions her hand, and out of the cauldron, tentacles start coming up and lashing around the floor. They don't reach out and grab you, but you realize it will be very difficult to get past to get to her.
And that looks like tentacle nonsense.
She's like, my beast is hungry. Speak before I destroy you. I am already bored with this.
Is it
I am bored as well, and I would demand to know who you are before we put an end to your miserable existence.
Oh, you don't. Oh, right. All of you give me perception checks. Perception or Arcana, whichever's higher. I'm pretty sure it's perception for most of you. And yes,
further back because I went to go blow off the fireball elsewhere.
Correct.
I actually am gonna be I'm gonna come in after them. I'm gonna do a couple things before I come in behind them.
Yeah, you can hear all this because it's all echoey and cavey, but yeah, you can definitely still be in the next room.
So I got a natural
do you need
20.
a perception from me
Another
or not?
one, Impa?
Yeah, for 25.
You
It was-
are
Impa, quit it.
no, don't never change. Impa, she absolutely resonates with the same energy of those mage hunters. Like whatever has affected them has affected her too. She might be from there, has spent time there, who's drawing her power from there, but there's definitely a correlation.
I'm gonna say
in fact, Impa being the studious type and a natural 20 being a natural 20, after you look at her for a second, you recognize these clothes that she's wearing. It's she's dressed like an auric, which is a secret society of mages who wield forbidden magic that were kicked out of Strixhaven. Basically, their founder was expelled from Strixhaven and vowed revenge, and they essentially dabble in all things forbidden.
all right. In the telepathic bond, he'll just say, okay, she was expelled from Strixhaven, so she's forbidden magic. There's lots of forbidden magic here, and I think we need to be careful if we're gonna cast spells at her, because remember what happened with those mage hunters, and you did the magic and then they hit you, and then so just be careful, okay?
Real quick. So one of my wild magic surges goes off, and now there's an eye in the middle of my forehead because I'm already sweet looking enough. Instead of a perception check around the room, she called this thing her beast. Is it a beast?
What does the eye do for you?
The eye just gives me advantage on perception checks. But she called this tentacle creature her beast.
Honestly, it looks more like it's just the tentacles are made out of congealed blood. It's kind of like red and gelatinous and just like whipping around the floor in front of her.
Okay, so not necessarily something I could actually talk to.
Does not look like it.
Correct.
Although she stops for a second and she says, Lorehold, Prismari. And she points at you for a second, Niko. And she
I'm
says,
not there.
Oh, yes, that's true. She doesn't point at you. Never mind. She doesn't see you. She's just like, Lorehold is Mari. Fascinating. Oh, and of course, you all seem to have made Vargas's acquaintance. I'm Idemi. I guess this is normally the time in the conversation where I would begin my villainous monologue. Instead, I think you all can die. All of you give me a 7 Constitution save.
I am unimpressed.
Actually, even you, Niko. Oh, wait, sorry. Hang on a second. Nope, not you, Niko.
Okay.
I am invisible. Is this going to help at all?
It is the area of effect.
Okay, got it.
Oh, I have a feeling you're not going to be invisible long, as I got a 4.
Con save. Yep.
12.
Okay.
I am going to use a chronal shift as a reaction to re-roll that.
Okay.
Nice.
That's better. 21.
Impa and Mal, you feel like your very blood starts to catch on fire when she holds her hand up, and it burns, and your skin begins to blister and burn, and you both take 38 points of necrotic damage. Theo, you take half that, so 19. And
yeah, Impa, you are
Mal and Impa drop to the ground, incapacitated.
Oh.
You will be incapacitated until the end of your next turn. You, however, Theo, are not incapacitated, but you do see your friends just drop. And she looks at them and says, easier than I thought. Now you can all roll initiative. Although, Niko, I know you did say you were going to do some things, so your things are going to happen, but still give me initiative here.
Okay.
Oh dear. Well, that's an appropriate initiative. I got a 5.
A 9.
So basically, the way this is going to work is both Mal and Impa will essentially lose their first turn.
Okay.
Theo?
7.
Okay. Just because it makes my life easier, I'm going to give Vargas's stat block to here to one of you to control. Whoever wants to control, he will act on your turn. I'm gonna drop it. I don't mind
Not
who
it.
does it.
I'll take it. I'm used to controlling all kinds of stuff, so I'll
exactly.
I'll take it.
Having to have me fight me is always a headache. Okay, that was 9 for Niko, 5 for Mal, 7 for Theo. Impa?
7.
And a 7 for Impa. You guys were really not ready for this.
No.
We did.
You see this like boiling goes off and the two of them collapse, and she just looks at you, Theo, and she says, courage all gone, lion? And she holds her hand up, and those tentacles, you see two things that happen. Blood that's on the floor in this basin starts to go up and flow around her like it's protecting her. And you see she holds her hand out in hang on a second. Let's see something real quick. Okay. 2 beams of just red electricity shoot out at you. What is your AC currently, Theo?
It is going to be 13. If it matters, though, I will shield.
Well, it's up to you. Are you going to shield or not?
So this is the start of another turn, correct?
Yeah, well, theoretically, you started the first turn. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're just entering combat, so yes,
okay.
you have your reaction back.
So I'm going to shield then.
That's
an 18.
Your shield shimmers into being, and both of them just punch through it. Like you see it just shatter as these beams hit you for 42 points of necrotic damage.
Oh my God.
And you cannot regain hit points until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
Actually, the start of her next turn. So basically the top of the next round is when you can be healed. It's 21 and 21 individually for the sake of any sort of mitigation or anything. Let me just see something else here. Actually, believe it or not, Niko, she actually does call out. Even though you're in the next room, she calls out and says, Harangon, that's new. You gonna run along, or you gonna come in here and help your friends? She just says it out loud. She didn't do anything to you. because she is aware of your presence, oddly enough. However, Niko, it is your turn. So the things Niko said she wanted to do in advance, I will say you basically you would have had time to cast 2 spells while she was monologuing, because she did. So
Okay.
what would you like Niko to
Hang
do?
on, sorry, I have to add one wild
And to
shape
be
really quickly.
clear, these tentacle things are still on the floor in front of her.
Okay. I would like to I'm gonna go. I will go and I'll cast Entangle first.
Mhm.
I'm not going to waste my time with invisibility because that would be a waste of time. So I will cast Entangle around her.
Mhm.
So centered on her to try and miss the friends, hit the pain in our butt.
Mhm.
And then I would like to. Does that go off? Did she seem restrained
Well,
by it?
here's the thing. If you did an attack spell, she would have reacted quite differently, because you said you were going to do stuff while you were in the other room.
Fair, but she hadn't called out to me, so I didn't
Mhm.
realize that was a thing yet, which completely changed what I was going to do. Because I was going to wait and do some invisibility stuff, but that's pointless if she knows I'm there. So
I mean,
then okay, we can
it is
scratch
your
that.
turn now. You can do entanglement now. It is your turn. I was just saying anything that you were going to have done beforehand.
Yeah, no, we can scratch that all then.
Well, because if
what
you
I was
got
going to do
close,
is
if you
pointless
got
at this
close
point.
enough to entangle, you would have been within the boil blood.
Be within 90
radius, too.
feet.
So yeah, no, she'd have got you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Don't be in the blood. Don't be in the blood.
Nope, that's fine. I won't be in the blood. The blood is gone now, though, correct?
No, the tentacles are still lashing out around you. It was the boiling blood is what you were out of range of.
How tall is the ceiling in here?
It is 10 feet.
Oh,
So
wow.
these are small caves, yeah.
Then I'm not going to do that either. So wait,
Nope.
if it's 10 feet, then only one person can fit in there with her, right?
10 feet high, not 10 feet
Oh,
wide.
10 feet. I'm sorry, 10 feet high.
Yeah.
Sorry. Math. This is why I'm a quandrix.
Yeah.
Sure, let's do this. I am going to call down upon myself the patterns of nature. And Niko starts to transform. All of a sudden, her fur sort of changes in texture. And her legs seem to even strengthen. I am going to call down Guardian of Nature. So I will have strength-based attacks will have advantage, and my melee weapons will deal an extra 1d6. Will you apply strength-based the way that Shillelagh works, or not?
Sure.
Okay. And then I'll do an extra 1d6 force damage on hit.
Okay.
So I get extra buff on that.
Yeah. Mega bunny.
Mega bunny.
The buff
And
Although, do you still look like a heron gun, or do you look like something else?
You know what? Screw it. We're going with it. Let's say that I have been doing this long enough that the clouds part and it is a full moon tonight. And Niko, her spine lengthens and she grows, and a tail extends and fur erupts from her neck, and Niko transforms into a lion.
And you see she turns and looks at you, and she does like cock her head to the side and just says, fascinating.
And Niko roars.
I think I'll kill you last. But yes, is it your intent to go towards her with the shillelagh?
Yes, please. May I have cast the shillelagh already, even though?
Sure, that'll give you. Yeah.
Sure. Let's go ahead and kick off with that then.
So give me a dex save.
Okay. That's a 4.
As you go charging forward, these tentacles whip up and grab you and lift you off the ground and restrain you in place.
I have a there's something I know I have with deck saves.
Mhm.
What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Lucky
It's a-
for when I fail it, it's not going to be enough, is it? A D4 onto that.
What did you get?
I have lucky footwork as a
No, but I
herring
mean, what did you said you rolled
I
a
had
4,
a
right?
4.
It's
Mhm.
not. It won't
Yeah,
get you
it's not
there.
gonna do it.
Yep.
Okay.
The tentacles
I
pick you
tried.
up and start squeezing you for 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Again, not counting any mitigation. As you're lifted up off the floor, she just turns her head very slowly and looks at you, Theo, and she says, nothing, no interesting little quip. I mean, you're a Leonin, she turned into a Leon, and I think there's something here that I'll discover. I'll wring from your flesh. But you were so bold and brave before, and I've defeated all of you in seconds. Nothing else to say? Although, well, Theo, you can talk if you like. It is actually not your turn yet. She is just taking the time to openly mock you as a free action.
Not going to be much I can say until it's my turn.
However, Niko, or yes, Niko.
I would like to use silvery barbs
To
force a
reroll your
reroll
save?
on that.
Yep.
It's a save. Darn it! Never mind.
Mhm.
Scratch that.
Yeah. Mal, you will wake up from your incapacitation at the end of your turn. However,
Yeah.
Vargas can act now.
Oh,
So
Vargas wasn't my turn. Okay.
Mal snaps out of it, but Vargas can do a thing. As Niko is held, you and Impa, or Mal and Impa are both on the ground. Theo is preparing to do a thing as she is openly sassing him. And it's Vargas's turn.
Vargas looks around at these people who are supposed to save him and says, I guess I'm gonna try to save you. And he's gonna think really hard about fire. And a little bead is gonna come out of one of his eyes. And he's gonna cast Fireball in a place that's not gonna hit anybody, but it's gonna hit the tentacles and her.
Although the ceiling is not very high, the room is pretty wide, so dropping it behind her would not be difficult.
So it's a Fireball is a dexterity saving throw, and his DC is only 13.
13.
Very important. How tall is the room?
10 feet.
10 feet.
10 feet. She is very dexterous. She jumps backwards, but she is still going to take half damage from it. So.
And what about the tentacles on the floor?
It does not seem to affect them. They don't scream or writhe or do anything of the sort. They're just coming out of this cauldron, reaching around, basically.
That's the second time I've had to roll a Fireball without actually having Fireball on my sheet. Okay. Vargas, it's a 25, so she made the save. It's half of that.
Perfect.
Fire damage.
Excellent. Anything else from Vargas?
Vargas. Oh, what else can you do? Nope. That's about all he can do. He's gonna make sure he's far enough away from the tentacles, because skulls and tentacles. But no.
I will say, as he launches this fireball, he turns and looks down at Mal, and he's like, "On your feet, Prismari! On your feet! The show must go on! We can have feet!"
And that's all I say.
Theo, it is, however, now properly your turn.
Did you say there's water in here?
No, it's yes, actually. There's a pool of really gross water at the other end of the cave. Kind of stagnant, standing water.
Is it between her and us right now?
It is behind her relative to you.
Okay, got it. One other quick question, and this would only be something that I would try to ascertain at a glance. Does this look like a roughly humanoid creature?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
yeah. It's arms and legs and everything. Like, I mean, even her odd face, it's clearly a helmet. Like, when she talks, it doesn't move.
All right. So Theo is badly injured and cannot heal, and so when she is mocking him, he is going to just kind of pucker up the cheeks and look like he is in much better shape than he actually is, and he says, "You believe that you have taken something away from me, but I assure you there are other ways to fortify oneself." And I am going to cast Polymorph
Mhm.
And since the ceiling is too low for a Tyrannosaurus, I am going to turn into a huge crab.
Okay.
That's my
okay.
brother.
Mhm.
And then I am going to, and that's going to give me 160 hit points. And I am going to rush toward her. And with my movement, I'm going to get up into her grill.
Give me a dex save.
As the huge giant crab. Let's see. Okay, I gotta roll this manually. Sorry, because it
That's okay.
doesn't have all that stuff in there. Let's see.
Nope, I get it.
That's a 16.
You just go stomping over the blood tentacles that lash up and try and grab you, but they are not able to restrain you, although they do still have your sister. Anything else from Theo?
That's all I can do this round.
Impa, again, at the end of your turn, you snap out of it and wake up, but unfortunately you were not able to act, which brings us back around to the top where, oh, hold on, cocked eye. All right. She looks at you all getting up again and this crab that is now right here in front of her, and she just kind of like looks around at all of you and she says, "Oh, you're fools. Brave, but fools." And she kind of looks at all of you and she's like, "That one I'm going to put out of its misery." And she holds her hand up and you see these beams. Ooh, okay, wait a second.
Bring it. Bring it. Is she looking at me? Bring it, B Dave. Is she looking at me? Come on. Who else is she putting out?
Impa gravestone.
Oh,
Impa
no.
gravestone.
Oh no.
Even or odd?
Even.
What is your AC currently, Mel?
14.
She shoots 2 of these beams out and she hits you both, but unfortunately Impa's was a natural 20.
Silvery barbs.
Oh, you can make her re-roll the attack? Perfect.
Yes.
Oh, you might have just saved me.
Don't you dare.
What
And
is your
and Niko roars.
Nice.
while you're restrained?
Yep.
Hold on a second. Let me check something real quick. Let me look.
It's
Let me
just
look
a
at the
verbal.
all right, let me look at the restrained condition. Hold on.
Only
See
a
if you
verbal
see if-
component for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
So tense.
Okay, no, there's nothing about reactions for a restrained creature. Yes, you absolutely can. Impa, what is your AC?
17.
She does still hit you, but it is no longer a critical, so it would have been much worse.
Oh,
She puts 21 points of necrotic on Mal and on Impa. And you now cannot heal until the start of her next turn. However, Theo, you have regained the ability to heal because it's the start of her turn now. So Theo can heal, Mal and Impa cannot heal until her next turn comes around.
Unfortunate as I am unconscious.
Mal is going to have advantage on his next attack roll.
Well, Mal's
As-
unconscious.
As a consequence of silvery barbs, well, if Mal has to roll death saves,
Oh, that counts.
I want to
Yep.
put that on there just in
All right.
case.
Makes sense. Mal has it. Perfect.
Mal's gotta, because there's no way you can heal him at this moment.
Correct.
Niko, you are
Yes.
still restrained. You have to give me
I would like
athletics
to make a
or
strength
acrobatics.
check, which I have advantage on. Yeah,
Okay.
so whichever one you'd prefer.
That is athletics if you want to do it the strong
Okay.
style. You will take your action to get loose if this works, though.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. Strength is generally not my strong suit. It's an 11.
You muscle and struggle and fight, but the tentacles
I
just
can't
hold
use-
you in
yeah.
place. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
A question. If I were to wild shape here into something smaller, would I be able to escape this?
You would just have the different stats of the thing to try and acrobatics or athletics out of it. Yeah. Like it wouldn't innately get you out, though. No.
Okay. Okay.
You can bonus action. I mean, within the restrained condition, which is your speed is 0, your attacks have disadvantage, and attacks against you have advantage, and you have disadvantage on dex saves.
Okay. Well, I just used my action, so I can't do.
Yeah, you can bonus action, but you can't action.
No, I know. I'm trying to see what I have available to me at this point with a bonus action.
In the meantime, Mal, it is going to be Vargas coming up, and then after that will be Theo.
And I got to roll a death save, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and do that now. Mal died as he lived, bullshitting his way through everything.
And with no
I was
feathers.
I was like curled up
No
with a cute
feathers.
boy. Yeah. Anything else? Well, hang on. But anything else from Niko?
I mean, there's nothing I can do here.
Perfect. Go ahead, Mal.
You said I get advantage on this death save?
Yeah, is that how silvery barbs work? Is it just advantage on the next save or advantage on the next roll, period?
Yes, it's on the next save.
That counts?
It's save.
Hey, as long as it's a save.
Yeah, it saves. It's
all right.
Attack roll, ability check, or saving throw within 1 minute.
That's
long
good.
as it saves. Yep.
That's
have at
good
it.
because it was going to be a 4, but now it's an 18.
Hey.
That's good. Meanwhile, Vargas. Oh, Vargas. My new character, Vargas, is going to magic missile.
Maybe they'll make a flaming skull out of you too.
I mean, we only have 1 episode left. I'll just be the flaming skull next week. It'll be okay. I mean,
the flaming skull.
Mal
the flaming skull
is already halfway to being a skull. Just put his skull on fire, and there we are. There we are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. He's gonna magic missile this person.
Sure thing. It does not miss. So 3d4 plus 3, basically.
Yeah. 3d4.
You
10 force damage as he
10 force damage.
He tries to think about fire again, about a big fireball, and instead he goes and 3 little darts of force come out.
You see as his beams hit her, she sort of stumbles for a second, and you see a surge of wild magic wash over her, where she suddenly and mysteriously looks particularly vulnerable to piercing damage. She just looks down at her armor as the holes start to appear in it, with little spots that Mal would be able to bullseye easily, but
I'm dead.
Unconscious.
But also can't heal.
Theo, it is your turn. Well, starting next round, you'll be able to heal, unless, of course, I roll that she gets her boiled blood thing back, and then all bets are off.
Bring it.
As long as she doesn't get the boiled blood, Mal, I actually can cure wounds on you remotely.
All we gotta do is live.
All you gotta do is live. You might want to focus on the people who are currently conscious, though, I would say. And you know what? Mal would be okay with that.
You guys forget that I'm also a cleric.
Yep. True.
Theo.
Theo basically with his claws tries to grab her, attack her with the claw. That's a 22.
More than enough.
And that does 27 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
And it is automatically grappled. And then I'm going to use all 30 feet of my movement to dive into the pool and try to hold her down there.
Wow.
Because crabs can breathe water.
Theo, you grab, give me one last dex save, Theo.
Okay.
Actually, hang on. Wait, let me read. Let me do this by the book. Hold on a second. Yep, give me one more dex save, Theo.
God,
that's pretty good. So 17 plus, so that's 19?
More than enough.
Okay.
Theo, you grab her and charge across and push her down into the water, and you see bubbles starting to escape from her helmet. And she kind of grabs the claw and she looks up at you and she says, okay, maybe we can negotiate. I will tell you everything.
What?
And that is a good place for us to stop.
Except she's underwater, so all you hear is
I didn't know she spoke Aquan.
The forbidden language of the Murlocs. Yes. One more chapter. The final battle lay ahead of us. The
It's
final
gonna be a
battle
lot.
with Murgaxor.
Murgaxor or Murgasaur, as we
Why not
have
both?
sometimes said. So
It's true.
um,
He thinks he's Murgasaur. He's Murgaxor. So yeah.
I was going to be some kind of dinosaur, but then the ceiling was too low. So the crabs seemed to work out. So that's
I was going to
good.
call lightning, and the ceiling was too low.
All right, so
That
that should be a
ceiling too low for
t-shirt.
the Flox's day.
T-shirt. I was going to call lightning, but the ceiling was too low.
I don't know, that giant crab though. That's
Pretty
even better
awesome.
in my
Pretty
opinion.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds great. Thank you all so much for joining us for this penultimate. I just like saying the word penultimate episode of Strixhaven Chaos. Join us next week for the finale, and be
The
sure
ultimate episode.
the ultimate
The
episode.
ultimate episode.
We cannot wait to see what happens with Murgaxor. I think I said it right, maybe Murgasaur. Whoever this person is, I feel
Heavy
like they
Mr.
need to go
Murgasaur.
down. So that's it. So, thanks everyone for
He's
joining
going
us.
to be
Have a
Murder
great week.
Sword.
Later, Gators.
Bye.